Hey, good morning. It's a really nice, cool morning here. Morning. We've been up really early, so I feel a little crazy right now. I've been drinking lots of coffee. Rosemary's finally napping. So I just wanted to make a quick little video about breastfeeding. I just been having some thoughts this morning and wanted to just kind of get them all out for you, give you just some encouragement, really. So, Juliana, when she's born, in that first hour, she'll be out, you'll be holding her, and she might have no problems at all latching and nursing. In a perfect situation, that might happen, but it doesn't always happen that way, and that's okay. You might be super engorged and she might be having a really hard time latching, or it just might be really painful. You are both learning. Juliana's never nursed before. This is your first babe nursing. But even some mom friends that I have that are on their fourth, fifth child, are like, it's new every time. Every child is different, nursing, and it doesn't matter if you're a first time mom or a fifth time mom. You might have different difficulties with each kid, but you can get through it. It is possible to kind of figure out what's going on, and you guys are both going to be learning in those first few weeks, and it's okay if it's frustrating and overwhelming and exhausting at first. It might seem like Juliana is nursing every hour at times, and that's totally normal. I just want to say a newborn stomach is so small. I think it's like the size of a marble. I don't know the exact measurements, but it's so small at first. And breast milk is digested extremely quickly, which means that she's going to be hungry quite often, and that is totally normal. So if it feels like you're just constantly nursing her, that's okay. Like, you just get in a comfy chair, pop on some Netflix, get some snacks by you, and just learn each other. And I know even just saying that sounds really like, oh, so beautiful. It's not always the case. I remember just being so frustrated, and I would cry almost every time I had to nurse Rosemary the first couple weeks, because I felt like I was doing it wrong. I was frustrated that we had to use a nipple shield. I just wanted her to be able to nurse and latch naturally. And I think we used that for a couple weeks, and I finally was able to get her to not use it, because every time I would try to just get her to latch, even after I wasn't engorged anymore, she was already so used to the nipple shield, I think, that she didn't really know. So it was incredibly frustrating, and we just plowed through it. And 13 months later, we're still nursing, and it's wonderful. But I just want to say, some people might tell you, oh, she's nursing that much, she shouldn't be nursing that much, she's just using you as a pacifier. And I think that is ridiculous, because their stomachs are so small. They're going through growth, so we're doing so much growing in that first year of life. They're going to be having lots of different patterns of nursing, and sometimes that does look like every hour. We had I think when Rosemary was almost a month old, we had an in-home nurse come, and she was asking me about Rosemary's nursing habits, and I said that it was every hour, every 2 hours sometimes, and she was like almost scolding me, saying that I needed to get Rosemary on this schedule of only nursing every 3 hours. And I was so frustrated, because we have to trust our babies. We have to trust their instincts, and also there might be times where Juliana needs sleep more than food, and that's normal too. Like, there was times Rosemary would sleep for 6 hours through the night, and I'd wake up super engorged and be like, is she still breathing? Like, I'd get up and rush over and be like, is she still alive? She just was wore out, growth spurts, more sleep, more eating, totally normal. Babies aren't going to starve themselves, but I mean, if you do think something's wrong, then obviously get it checked out, but babies aren't going to starve themselves. Okay, they're going to tell you when they're hungry. So I think just being in tune to Juliana and just trusting her, and nursing on demand, even though it can be really exhausting. Those first few months, I think it was 2 months before I really started to feel like I was maybe getting the hang of nursing, and that it wasn't this incredibly frustrating, overwhelming thing. I never felt like the letdown until like 6 or 7 months, because I was always so full of milk. And I think also because of that, I never really was feeling like that rush of oxytocin, that rush of love you feel when your child latches and is nursing, until about 6 months. And when I started feeling that, it was like, oh my goodness, this is one of the most incredible, rewarding, bonding things I could ever do with and for my child. So I was really thankful that we pushed through it. So I just want to encourage you that it's very possible that to have hardships, but to get through those hardships. Another incredibly fascinating thing about breast milk, I know you're worried about Juliana being born kind of in flu season, cold season. Yes, you want to be mindful of who's around her, who's touching her, like people not touching her hands or face, especially kids. A lot of kids don't have boundaries. They don't understand, so you have to be kind of firm with them. Adults are that way too. What am I saying? There's grown-ups that are that way too. So it took me a while to learn to have a voice, to be like, please don't touch my baby, especially if we were in Walmart and there was someone that was like, oh, cute baby, and they're like coming at her with the little hands, and I'm like, no, don't touch my baby, please. And you can look like a psycho mom, but like Juliana can't defend herself. You have to protect her. Anyways, I'm getting off on a tangent. What I was going to say about your breast milk, there are so many immunities and antibiotics produced in your breast milk specifically for Juliana, which is incredible. So if she picks up a germ or you pick up a germ, your body, your breast milk, and your brain are going to work together. They're going to collaborate and specifically design the immunities and antibodies in your breast milk for her that will help protect her. So incredible, right? So incredible. I think when Rosemary was 4 or 5 months old, Elijah and I got a really bad cold, like really bad, and I was like constantly blowing my nose, coughing. Obviously we were in really close contact with Rosemary, especially me. She didn't get sick at all, because I just continually nursed her, and I think my body was just producing what she needed to help protect her. So that is super fascinating and encouraging when you feel like just discouraged about breastfeeding, or that it's just more of a chore. Sometimes it does feel like that, I'll be honest. Sometimes it feels like I just can't wait for this kid to wean herself, because there's times, like even now, like I still nurse on demand, and if she's teething or fussy, then I am her pacifier at points sometimes, because she hasn't taken a pacifier ever. She doesn't suck her thumb. And she's a big comfort nurser, and that's okay. I've just when you kind of just accept that and know that you're doing one of the best things you can for your child, it does make it worth it, even though it feels like some days I'm just sitting on the couch constantly. So you will get through it. It is hard. If you are having trouble, you can ask me for help, or someone else that is experienced. There's obviously people that are way more experienced than I am. I've only nursed one child, and I'm still learning a lot myself. But these are just some thoughts that I was having, and I wanted to just get them out there, and hopefully this will encourage you in those first few weeks, months, when you just want to give up. Just push through it. You're a fighter. Juliana is going to be a fighter. She already is, and it is a truly wonderful thing. So I'm going to go finish my coffee. I think I'm going to go bake some bread, actually, which is really exciting. I love making bread. It's wonderful. And it's so relaxing. Yeah, anyways, I'm going to go now because I could keep rambling. But I love you a lot, and I'm really excited to see you at the end of September. Yeah, in a month, pretty much. So, all right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.